In 1513, an Ottoman admiral laid out a map that should not exist. Its curves and coastlines match no contemporary understanding of the world. Yet there at the bottom edge lies something impossible. A jagged line uncannily accurate tracing the northern coast of Antarctica. Not as it appears today, buried beneath miles of ice, but as it would have looked thousands of years ago. Ice-free, detailed, mapped. And this wasn't guesswork. The precision defies explanation. No satellite, no aerial survey, no ships had reached those latitudes. So the question burns, who saw Antarctica? Before we did, take a breath, let the chill settle. Because this isn't just a story about maps or frozen landscapes. It's about memory, hidden memory. About knowledge passed through fire vaults, silence, and possibly swords. The kind with red crosses etched in their hilts. The parchment is brittle now, faded ink curling corners. But what it shows may redraw the lines of history. The Piri Reis map, named after the admiral who compiled it, is more than an artifact. It's a puzzle. One that whispers of vanished explorers, lost libraries, and secret orders that preserved what others tried to erase. Tonight, we trace a forbidden trail stretching from the libraries of Constantinople to the ice walls of the southern continent. From the bloodied hands of crusader knights to the satellite feeds of modern scientists. Somewhere between the Templars and Antarctica, a thread remains. One that might explain how medieval cartographers drew what they should never have seen. And the more we pull it, the stranger the world becomes. Before we venture further into the shadows, take a moment to subscribe so you never miss a secret that history has tried to forget. The admiral never set foot in Antarctica. He never saw its glaciers, never felt its sub-zero winds scraping across ancient rock. And yet, in 1513, Piri Reis laid brush to parchment and painted a mystery so vast it still echoes across centuries. Drawn on a piece of gazelle skin and stitched together from older sources, his map offers something no one was meant to see, a near-perfect representation of the Antarctic coast before it was swallowed by ice. Not the Antarctica we know, mind you. What appears on the Piri Reis map is the continent as it would have looked over 6,000 years ago, its northern coastline exposed unmarred by glaciers. The jagged outline of Queen Maud Land seems to peek through a ghost of a world that shouldn't have been visible, let alone charted in the 16th century. And yet, it's there sloping and curving in eerie alignment with modern seismic scans taken beneath the ice. Piri Reis himself admitted he didn't create the map from scratch. He compiled it from charts left behind by ancient seafarers, some Arabic, some Portuguese, and some according to his own marginal notes from the time of Alexander. And that alone raises a chill. Because while his contemporaries were still arguing over the shape of the earth, Reis was sketching coastlines they hadn't even imagined yet. How the official explanation has long been that the Piri Reis map simply misrepresents South America or contains copying errors. Cartographic anomalies, they call them, nothing more. But that narrative begins to unravel when you compare the coastlines to modern satellite imagery. The resemblance isn't vague, it's surgical. Features obscured under thousands of feet of ice for millennia somehow curve and dip precisely where the map says they should. A lucky guess or something else. Some scholars have tried to bridge the gap with a kind of cartographic telephone game, suggesting that ancient maps were passed down and distorted each copy, introducing new errors until Reis stitched them together like a cartographic Frankenstein. But if that were true, the results should be messy, random distortions, misaligned borders, artistic liberties. What we see instead is a consistency of form, especially along the southern arc. Something too precise for myth and too early for science. What makes this map even more unsettling is what's missing. Reyes only managed to preserve 1/3 of the original chart. The rest, according to historical accounts, was lost or destroyed, which means that if Antarctica occupies the fringe of what remains, then what sat at the center. If this was only the edge of the forbidden knowledge, what had once been its heart? This line of questioning quickly turns from curiosity to something closer to heresy, at least in the eyes of traditional historians. Because if the map is real and accurate and drawn from older sources, then it implies a level of ancient maritime knowledge that simply shouldn't exist. It suggests a pre-modern people with global awareness, technical sophistication, and perhaps a motive to preserve their findings in secret. Here, the Knights Templar quietly drift into the periphery. After all, they were known collectors of ancient knowledge. From their excavations beneath Solomon's Temple to the whispered libraries of the Levant, the Templars had access to artifacts and manuscripts lost to time. Could one of those have been a chart, fragments of an older map, perhaps copied and protected across centuries? The idea seems fantastical until you remember that cartography, like power, has always been a guarded treasure. Control the map, and you control the edge of the known world. Perhaps that's why the Piri Reis map wasn't widely published. Perhaps that's why so many of the other ancient charts he cited have mysteriously vanished. Burned, buried, hidden behind thick stone walls. After all, some knowledge is dangerous. And here's the quiet paradox. Piri Reis wasn't regarded as a madman. He was a respected admiral in the Ottoman Navy, a brilliant navigator, a court scholar. When he was executed, yes, executed, it wasn't for forgery. It was for disobedience after a failed naval campaign. But his map, that strange fragment on gazelle skin, it survived, tucked away in the Topkapi Palace for centuries. Waiting. Scholars still debate the authenticity of his source materials. Some believe the alignment with Antarctica is coincidental, or that he mistook the contours of South America. Others, like Charles Hapgood, argue that the Piri Reis map proves a lost civilization with advanced geodesy once circled the globe. Most academics bristle at that idea, partly because it disrupts their tidy timelines.